Hey everybody, it's Christy here at my Artful Adventures, and we are in a fun event today, Checks and Cherries, with Michelle. She's got a subscription box, and so if you get that, she's got some fun goodies in that. And so you guys, the information about her subscription is in the description, so be sure and check that out. You'll want to check out more about that, and I think that's a monthly thing that she's got, and so that's super fun, right? So I had kind of a little bit of a tech issue today, so I am just here on my desktop with you. So we'll have to make that do, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, thanks Michelle, I appreciate that. Yeah, so my Belle Creations is our hostess today, and we're gonna have some fun Checks and Cherries. And I I got a chance to see the other some of the images that she had used in her collection, and it's so fun. I'm gonna make a little folio today, you guys, and this is gonna be, here's my picnic area. So it's about picnics and all kinds of fun stuff, right? Kind of family picnics and just having the summer fun. And look, we might be at the end of the picnic for this with the way these clouds are in the sky. I don't know, but we are going to we're going to play with this and have some fun. And this is going to be the outside. We're going to make a little folio, and we're going to have some checks and whatever I said. Checks and cherries. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh, I forgot to send out my telegram. There's just too many things. I know, wouldn't that be fun? I love those flowers. And you can see some rolling hills off in the distance, right? Let me go ahead and, hang on one second, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and, no, I'm not either. That'll take me too long. I was gonna say maybe I would just send it out, but Michelle's got me sprinkled out into some places. We don't have very many people on yet, though, but we can't wait. We got stuff to do. We got places to go, picnics to partake in. So this is going to be, our front piece is going to be kind of a 3D thing. And this is a very similar thing to some other things that I have been showing lately. But we're going to have a picnic basket on the front of this one. I did like a Highland cow. You may have seen that one when I did that one. I have a butterfly that is going to be in my first send out of my new subscription. So that'll be fun. It's like a little butterfly 3D folio. Let's see, I've got some little tweezers here, which when they came with this tape, I just kind of laughed and I thought, there's no way that's going to be helpful. And surprisingly, it really was. So I kind of like to use a little bit of this sticky. Hey Carol and Sue and Gina, thanks for popping in. Oh my goodness, I've been heavy into it, you guys, doing some stuff. And where in the world is my bone folder? Because I want it. I need it for, oh, there it is. I will need that. Okay, and some glue. You gotta have all the stuff, right? So a little bit of glue, a little bit of tape to kind of help it grab, but still be able to move it around. So I'm just gonna line these up. And I like to, when I'm lining something up, I kind of like to take one part of it and put it down across, like one of these grid lines, and make sure that I'm holding that part straight, and then put the second part on here and just line it up along that same grid line. And you got kind of a better chance of it all being pretty straight. And I got a tiny little seam there, but I think that will be good. So then we just get that all creased right there. And now I just need, oh, I should have folded that first. Oh my goodness. Oh, this was a mistake. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be hard to do. I know what I'm going to do. Where's my paper trimmer? I'm going to make a score line right across that. Hi, Sue. How are you? Hey, Ruth. Let's do this. Hey, Pam. Hi, Liz. How are you doing? You got another hot day out there? I'm going to run it right along that seam and just help score it. Oh my goodness. Maybe if I put it this way first. I tell you, when you do things after the fact, you know, it's like you're fighting a battle, right? Oh man. Now I'm going to have to put a little bit of more glue right there, but that's okay. It's kind of lifted up. Let's add a little bit of glue under there. See, now if I would have put the tape clear to that edge, I would have been fine. And now it's because it goos out. And now I'll just wipe it down because it'll dry clear. Oh, gee. Nothing like starting off with a bang. Oh my goodness. Hot and dusty. Yeah, and you know what, Liz, I have noticed that dirt that you do for your, you know, your dirt dye, you guys have totally different dirt. We do not have that red dirt. And it's so funny because, you know, we don't live that far from Oklahoma City, and I've got family that lives up there, and I can remember her girls were older than mine, and I remember one time she sent me some things like slips for the girls. Remember in the old days when people wore slips? And so she had sent me these slips, and they were just pink. I mean, they should have been white, but they were just pink from the red in the dirt that, you know, is in the water. And that was pretty interesting. But we don't, you know, we're just not that far, but far enough, I guess. That's not our dirt. And we're just going to bring these together like that. Okay, now we're going to make our picnic basket. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to make a picnic basket. Here they are. Okay, so I didn't cut these out yet. And so these are the same size, and one has a tab and one does not. And what I'm not even going to really, I'm just going to rough cut around these for now on the outside edge. And you'll see why in a minute. But I do want to go right along here and trim this right up along this line. And you guys, this is such a fun little technique to get this 3D look in a paper craft. Okay, so now again I'm just going to rough cut some of this. Okay, now on these I'm going to cut along the bottom basket because I need that part to match up, so we'll just snip that. And then we'll snip right here. And then that'll be kind of our marker of where we're going to do our matchy-matchy thing. So this is kind of different. Hey Brenda, how are you doing? Just snip that off. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just making little, you know, kind of markers, if you will. Because I'm going to put these together. We've got these. Now these have tabs. So we're going to just kind of do the same thing over here. Cut this section out. I think I'll and after you get them cut, then you can ink them. I wish I would have done the other thing. Now I actually think I'm going to take this and do my little snippet right here first. Okay. I went outside. We have a little tortoise outside. My granddaughter have, and he is so funny. Between last year and this year, he is really starting to eat a lot more. And he waits, and there's a hibiscus, you know, that they grow high and kind of make it more like a little tree. There's one of those out there, and I tell you what, he absolutely loves those blossoms. He will just come, and if he sees one of those, it's like he's almost on the run. We have a little pin. You know, he's still so small that, you know, you can put a little pin out there and he is contained. I just do not feel the need to have all these different kinds of animals that they do, but there he is. There you have it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to score these first. Hey Ruth, welcome. So I can just hold this here, and I can see in the track line where it is, and just score. On both of these. Kind of line it up. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put these back to back. So I need, and this is not right. Oh my goodness. This is not going to work like I planned, you guys. That is crazy. You can't do back to back on this because both sides don't match. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, okay then. We'll just not have, well, our back side's just going to have to be white. Oh my. Okay, well, you know, live and learn, right? It's like one of those things, you're late night crafting and you didn't think it through. How funny. Okay, well, if you're using something that is symmetrical, you can flip-flop them, and then you've got, you know, the back side is covered too. Well, I don't even have anything to, you know, to make that pretty now on the back side. Not one single thing. I guess the best I can do is just, you know, ink it up a little bit. Well, I would have thought I could have used some more of that red checked paper, but I didn't print enough of it to have it. That's okay. I could have put it on here and then cut it out. Just fussy cut around it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Or however those go together. Hi, Jerry. Amanda. Let's see. So we'll just fussy cut this. I think it is so funny, you guys. I want to know. Tell me. Have you ever taken a bottle of wine and a giant loaf of bread on a picnic? Tell me if you have. Because I can't tell you how many images of picnics have some type of loaf of bread and a bottle of wine. Just like it thinking, you guys are going on a different kind of picnic than we ever had. So I want to know. Tell me if you have. Maybe we're just not classy enough at our house to do that kind of stuff. Hi, Rhonda. Oh, Lisa, every field has to have some horses so we can go riding. I like that idea. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? With our bottle of wine and giant bread. But yeah, when you start looking at images for like picnic baskets, if they've got the food in them, I can't tell you how many of them are like that. And I just think, yep, never, ever have I done that. So that to me is kind of funny on its own. No fried chicken or no, you have fried chicken or sandwiches. Yeah. Well, and what do you take to drink? You don't have your wine for that? Oh my. I don't know. I just don't want to be, and usually it's plenty warm, you know, and I don't want to, I just can't imagine. I don't know. Different kind of picnic. I tell you, one of the last picnics that I can think of when we took our kids, oh my goodness, we got there. We actually stopped somewhere. We didn't even fix food. We stopped somewhere and bought something. And you know what? I'm kind of thinking that we got some fried chicken. So we go to this big park, and we spent most of the time trying to fight off bees the entire time. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this was really fun. And I don't think, and that was after we had moved to Minnesota, and you know, in the summer, and it was so humid. And it's like, yeah, this is not my idea of fun. And and the kids, it's like, you know, if you'd say picnic after that, it was like, no, nobody wanted to go on a picnic. It kind of became a, you know, a bad word. Nobody wanted to do that. But, you know, I can remember, how many of you had picnics on the tailgate of an old car? We had an old station wagon when I was growing up. We got it from my grandparents. And we'd go off somewhere, and that was where our picnic happened very often, was in the back of that car. How many of you did that? Canned drinks and iced tea. Yep, that sounds good. You guys, yesterday I took some mint. I wanted to make some iced tea, and I had some mint out in the garden area. I can't call it a garden because it's mostly just weeds. And so I did that, and I threw it in there while the tea was steeping, and oh my goodness, it was so good. Let's see, I'm going to do this side first. It just made it so fresh and yummy, and I don't put sugar in tea anyway. And oh man, it was good. And it almost seems sweet, but I think that about a lot of different kinds of teas. Okay, now I need to get this on here somewhere to where we like it. Oh, I kind of like this. You can kind of see our wildflowers down there. Let's put this on here. So you guys, this would be a lot of fun. You could do this with anything. Take an image, and you already saw how we made this, and then we've got these folded. And this actually can even be a card. You'll see how, you know, as we mosey along through this. Okay, so now then what you want to do is you want to be careful. Hold this down and match this up where you want it here, just like that. And then we're going to fold our paper down into there. There. And we should get a pretty good match. Oh no, it's off. How did that happen? See, now that's why I like to use glue. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! And you don't remember. Well, yeah, and in fact, a lot of tea you're not supposed to let the water boil, and that is dependent on what kind of tea it is. Oh, you guys, now look, the bottle is sticking way up there. That's the side I should have measured. Well, it's kind of cute. Let's put a little ink around the edges. You guys, why do I feel so discombobulated? Where in the world is the ink? I just had it here. There it is. Found it. Found it. So we'll just ink it up a little bit. Man, that's not too much darker than what's on there. I tell you what though, it doesn't take a lot of inking, right, to kind of give it a little bit more you know, depth and dimension, and really kind of frames out some. Now this guy's going to be tricky. Goodness, he's going to be tricky. There we go. Okay. Get some more on here. Fried chicken and pop. The adults probably had beer. Yeah, the adults probably had something else, right, Sue? Oh, but that was what I was saying was, yeah, depending on the tea and what it's made from, because, you know, their tea can be made from so many things, not just, you know, what we like black tea, like Lipton's or something like that. There's so many varieties of tea, and sometimes they have like fruity bits in them and all kinds of things like that. And just depending on what kind of tea it is, depends on how long that you should steep it, and how long, or I mean the temperature to, you know, get your water. And I just always think that's a lot of work. I don't usually go to that much, you know, effort for that. I usually just, you know, if I can catch the water before it boils, but you know, if it boils that too, and you know, put my tea bag in and let it steep. The one thing though is when you some different kinds of tea, like the longer that you leave them steep with the tea in it, the tea leaf in it, sometimes it starts to have a bitter taste. So you have to kind of be careful that you don't have that happen. There are so many kinds of tea. We used to have a tea place. Do any of you, did any of you have one of those Tivana places anywhere? Gosh, those were fun. They had so many varieties of tea, and there were a lot. They always had, you know, a couple of samples that you could taste, and sometimes they would brew them up with different, you know, different things, and you know, tell you how that would be beneficial to your health with whatever it was that they had brewed. And they were great, but man, they were expensive to get, you know, some tea. And they had some kind of a, you know, kind of a bottom line that you had to get. So by the time you met that minimum and whatever, goodness gracious, it was kind of pricey. Okay, let's cut these out and do the inside. Oh, sun tea, yeah. Very sweet, yeah, I don't. Oh, hibiscus tea. It does. Do you like it? Yeah, I like hibiscus tea. But anyway, throwing a little bit of that mint in, oh my goodness, and just letting it steep. And I'd already poured a lot of the tea out. I was getting ready to, you know, put it in its container. And then I thought, well, maybe I should, oh, I cut that wrong, I bet. See, this is when you've got these gingham and it ends off, well, I don't know. No, it looks like it might be kind of crooked anyway. Oh, what was I saying? Who knows? When you just blab and blab on, you forget what you're saying, right? Hey, Linda, how are you? Yes, and I tell you what, and my husband's mom, when she would make iced tea, I'd seen her make iced tea, and she would, like, into a, you know, I think that's probably a 2-quart pitcher, she would dump in a cup of sugar. I'm like, oh my goodness. I can't. I never could. That was just too much. And my kids were so funny. One time when they realized if we made Kool-Aid at our house, and they realized how much sugar that I put in, they'd been at friends' homes, and they couldn't figure out why at friends' homes the Kool-Aid tasted better. Well, that's because their moms made Kool-Aid the way it was on the package, and dumped in a cup of sugar. This mom did not put in a cup of sugar. She barely put in enough to make it palatable, probably. But yeah, that's certainly a sweet tea. Okay. So now this is what we're going to use for our little liner. Now I'll tell you what, I can fix this later. I can put this on the back and glue this right here, and then I can flip this over and cut around it, and that way I will have given this a little bit more stability, and you know, and something, although that looks funny, you know, with this, but at least it wouldn't just be, you know, super thin. So now we're going to put these two pieces here, and when you do this, you have to make sure that you are leaving this this fold. You got to let that be able to bend and breathe. Just let it bend and breathe. Throwing out something. What are you throwing out? Linda, what are you throwing out something? What? Cheryl says she's not a tea drinker at all. No, some people aren't. Cheryl, do you drink coffee? So what's your favorite? And so Cheryl, I don't know if you drink coffee, but for the rest of you, what's some of your favorite things to take on a picnic? So it's like, you know, you have the standard picnic menu. At our house, it would be, you know, about the same as Thanksgiving here. I told my husband one time if I knew that he was going to have the same thing every Thanksgiving, I would have made and printed a menu, and then I, you know, that could have just been it forevermore. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know what is this? Yeah, that's... Well, I guess what I'm going to do is leave that... Boy, I really got a... Yeah, I was afraid I was cutting that kind of close on some of that. I always thought brownies were great for a picnic, for your dessert item. And lemonade. How many of you like lemonade? I like water with lemon in it. I'm not real wild about lemonade, and I think it's because I don't like all the sugar, and I never have. But I do like lemon in my water. And so if we go out to eat, you know, that's what I'll ask for, and then everybody else will go water, no lemon. And if it comes, my husband says it's ruined. If, you know, if his has lemon in it, he says it's ruined. You can't fix that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, okay, thank you, Linda. Yes, the mint. I had put some mint in while the tea was brewing, and so then when I got ready to, you know, put it in my container when it was done, I started to throw the mint out, because you can't leave the mint in there. You know, it has to come out, because if you don't take it out, it, you know, it starts to degrade. And I mean, because my tea is going to last me, you know, a little bit, and so that mint in there just going to get soggy and nasty and start to degrade. So I thought, well, you know, maybe I would make it a little bit more minty. So I left part of the tea in, you know, what I was brewing it in for a little while longer, but the tea bag was already out. I'd already tossed the tea bag, and so I just, you know, left that in a little bit longer. And so, you know, I put it in, and you guys, I have the best thing that I put a little bit of tea in, you know, if it's something like that, if it's just going to be me drinking it. And I have a glass milk bottle, a half gallon, that I saved. One time, you know, I got some milk in it. Man, you buy milk in a glass milk bottle if you can find it. That stuff is not cheap, right? But I love having the bottle. I was telling somebody that yesterday, I think, and she said, oh, that was a great idea. She might just go buy some just so she could have the bottle. I'm like, yeah, I love that. I have it handy. I keep that thing. I'm always using it to put some kind of a, you know, a drink in there. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bend this. That looks like it could use a little more glue, but I am going to just ink this section. This will be down the middle. All right, let's get this in here. We'll give it a little color. Kind of looks like it was supposed to be that way, right? Oh, Janet, that would be good. Ruth likes pink lemonade, yeah. A bottle of ice water, coffee, start the day. Okay, okay, so I gotta look back at comments. Did anybody start telling stuff that they like to oh, cookies, yeah. Cookie bars, yeah. Well, that's almost like a, kind of like brownies, right? So, yeah, but those things are nice. Some of those kinds of bars are a nice thing to take if you're traveling. Because, you know, they travel well. Okay, so now, where we have these folds, we need to bend that. And because the easiest way that I like to do that is just kind of start to bend it where it is, back there in the back, and then hold a ruler against it. And then just kind of help it along and do it a little bit at a time. And I just like the way that works. I'll do this side. Because I've tried some other ways to do it, and I wasn't real happy with how it would, turn out. You can also flip these over. Oh, look, I need to trim that off on that outside. You can also flip them over and, see where you scored here and then just rescore it. Goodness gracious, that really, I think that's got too much to ink. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. A little. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take all of it off. But if I can trim it down a little bit, it won't look so crazy. And then I'll ink it again. Man. It's just like, and ink this and ink that. No, you know what? That's going to be like you're going to see that on the front. I don't want that like that. I'm afraid I'm going to chop some and then it's going to be all crooked. That's always the danger, right? When you start cutting a little off, then all of a sudden you cut it and now it's not straight at all. And then you try to fix it and then it's worse. It's just like, oh no. Okay, there we go. So we've got that like that. Here's our picnic basket. Well, there it's sticking out down there too. Did a terrible cut job. I should have cut all of those with a paper trimmer and I would have not had that much trouble. Okay, so now let's put some fun stuff inside, you guys. I've got a handful of fun. I got a little pocket here. Or it's an envelope. Oh, thanks, Sue. This is made a lot like the little bonus butterfly folio for the subscription that I started. And tomorrow's the last day to sign up for that. For this time, I extended it to let everybody get a chance who wanted to join. So the little butterfly folio is the little bonus. Okay. Oops, I should have done that one too. And just to save myself aggravation, I'm gonna score it. There we go. Hey Anne, how are you? Hi Deborah. Okay. Yeah, Martha. Yeah, then you just that was probably about actually how long I left the mint in, was till it had cooled down. But yeah, that was yummy. I had some of that yesterday afternoon. I thought, man, I could just drink that all day. Okay. No, I should have. It'll be okay. It will be fine. Oh my goodness. Listen, Lisa, I was going to make some ants to use for this. And I started looking at graphics and photos to see what I could find. And I tell you what, I couldn't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. I did not want ants. I'm just like, nope, that's not gonna happen. It's just like, oh, here, I should have flipped this over. I wonder if I can get the back side in. Yeah, barely. Oh, I gotta open it. I forgot to punch it first. There we go. I should have inked it first. Now, a fun thing to do with pockets, when you're making a little pocket for something, is to only glue it. Let me make this. Let me tame this paper. There we go. Is to only put glue on the three sides. Don't glue the whole thing down. Just put it on three sides. And then you got a little pocket. So we can have a little pocket here. And I'm going to put it down at the bottom. Like this. Because then I can stick something back here. And it won't, stick out. Now, let's see. I've got another little pocket I did with some cherries. This one's kind of hard when things have when the print has a white background. It's kind of hard to see where you're supposed to be cutting. I should have put something behind it so I could see where to cut. But the cherries get cut off over here, so I can see that. I don't think that's very even. That looks better. Better and better. But yes, I tell you, ants, I just couldn't do it. But I thought, yeah, that's another thing that's kind of synonymous with picnics, right? Is the ants. Now I might find something. Find an ant to put on it, right? That still would be cute. So then just three sides, and if you're only gluing three sides, hold the side that doesn't get glue. Then you remember, plus you have a spot to hold. I think I'll put this one over here. Just like that. So we got that pocket. Let's see. Oh, let's use this. Well, I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta hurry, you guys. Maybe just hit it a little bit. Give it just a touch. Glue that down. Picnic area. And then this one, and another pocket. Oh, I made this one to go here, so we can have a double pocket. Now this, actually the way that you can fold it up, it could be a card. So I mean, you could leave one panel to, put like a plain piece of white or just right on there if you wanted to. And that would be fun. Put this on here. So we got the double pocket. And I did have one more pocket, but I'm not sure I really like it. You know, its red is different, so I don't really like that. It would have been cute if it had a different color of red, but it just, I don't like the red doesn't really go. But there we had our plate there for our picnic. So now we've got some we've got all kinds of little cards here that we can use. We got our picnic foods. We've got here's a picnic basket. Let's punch a hole in this and give it a little bit of ribbon. You guys, wait till you see my ribbon. Ta-da! Can you believe I had some checked ribbon? I'm like, oh, I love it. I love it. So you can just put this in. You can even kind of ink these little holes. I don't know what happened. My cheap regular hole punch, like you can get like at a, you know, like at the grocery store even, just something simple, or probably like Dollar Tree. I don't know where it is. I feel like that's a story of my life. I don't know where it is. I have one. I don't know where it is. You know, how crazy is that? And so now you can stick this, that has become another pocket in through there. And then if you use, oh my goodness, oh, here they are. Use these tiny, tiny little thin Velcro dots. These are thin. And just snip them across in their little pocket. Now, the sheets didn't come together. They came separate, but I put them together because then all you have to do is take one of the carrier sheets off and just, you know, put it right in the center there, push it down, take the other carrier sheet off, and then just close it down, and then you've got your little pocket closed. And so, you know, we've got all kinds of little goodies here. You know, we've got other things. Oh, I've got a plastic on that one, but all kinds of little goodies here for our yummy picnics. Again, wine. Never have I ever. Oh, bread and wine. You know, after I started noticing that, it just made me laugh. I'm just like, that's funny. And we got some watermelon here. That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing for outside, right? And some tea. I could take like one of these cards and kind of make like a tuck spot here. It needs to be something, I don't know, lemonade would have been cute with all of these too, with a little bit more yellow, but that's cute. I could just do that. I should just ink it up. You guys, my time is up. I hope you enjoyed this. This was fun to make with you, and I will see you next time. Oh shoot, I forgot who's next. Oh my goodness. Well, if you're in the Crafty Bunch group, I forgot to say that, but in the Crafty Bunch group, you know, just refresh your page. Let me see if I can see who's next. Oh, I can't even see our times now. I blew it. I blew my job here. Oh, there we go. Next up is Christy from Funky Junk. She's up next. Let's go see what she's doing. I'll talk to you later, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.